Meet our guest, mystery guest, much more thrilling than the rest.
Who could it be?
Maybe it's me, mystery guest.
All right, our mystery guest is on the line. Now, Jason, I know who it is.
You need to bring me in.
Clint doesn't know, which
Bring me
means,
in,
remember
bring
the
me in.
last time it was on me and I didn't know. Now it's your turn not to know.
You-
I'm so excited about this guest.
I'm nervous. I don't know why.
No.
Do you want to ask the mystery guest a question? He's on the line.
Can I say?
Oh, it's a
Oh,
Lauren.
no. He. Okay, it's a he.
All right,
It's a
okay.
he.
Okay. You ready?
Mystery guest is joining us on FaceTime. I won't bring up the screens.
Okay.
You'll just be able to hear the
Okay.
voice.
You ready?
Yep.
Good morning, mystery guest.
Good morning.
Oh. Ask a
Hey,
question.
I'll start it off for you if you like.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
here.
Yep.
Right, you know David Beckham?
Yes.
It's not him.
You do sound like David Beckham.
You do. Have you
So
met?
you're
Have you met
English?
David Beckham?
Yes.
Oh.
Are you an athlete?
No.
Yeah,
No.
you look like one.
Oh.
No.
Have you got a six pack?
What currently?
Currently.
That's a really difficult question to answer currently. At some point in my life, yes.
Like the most famous six-pack of all
Who
time.
on earth is this mystery guest?
Yeah, there was definitely. Oh, okay. I'll give you another clue.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
You know Robbie Williams?
Yes.
Not him.
Robbie Williams was our last mystery
I
guest.
think I know who it is.
Who is it?
Is it Peter Andre?
It's a mysterious guest.
Whoa! Mysterious guest! I'm getting close to you.
It's Peter
You're
Andre.
bloody kidding me, Peter Andre, as I
Mate,
live and breathe.
You know, I thought I'd bring it in gently because I thought if you were going to be disappointed that you didn't have David or Robbie, I thought at least if I sort of bring their names out, it would sort of hit you in different stages before you've had to accept what you are left with.
Peter, that's exactly what happened with Robbie. I had to say, it's not Mariah Carey.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was Mariah Carey.
Jeez, have a look at you. You're still really handsome.
Oh, my, isn't he just?
Huh?
Now, Peter Andre, you are, I'm going to say, back home. You grew up in Australia and you're back in the country, not to sing this time, but for a movie.
I know, it's the absolute coincidence about this is just unbelievable that I'm not only we're launching my first feature film, or the first feature film where I'm starring in, is that it's going to be launched. The premiere is going to be exactly at the same place I did my first ever public performance 32 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Where at? On the GC?
On the GC.
Yeah, but whereabouts?
The Home
Say
of the
what?
Arts. Hota. It's Hota, yeah. And it's where the film festival is this year. And honestly, I couldn't believe it. And it so happens that Mum and Dad live on the Gold Coast, so I've got to come back, and it's been a bit of a buzz, to be fair.
I think a lot of people forget that you were born in the UK, right? And then you went to school in Australia.
Yeah, I came here when I was 6, and then so I was on the Gold Coast before there were any high rises. I remember it. 1979. Can you believe it? And just to tell people about that time, I remember I worked all weekend and got 50 cents, right? And that 50 cents got me a cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Oh.
And I remember walking to McDonald's. It took me 25 minutes to walk there to get a cheeseburger. And that's how my life was. It was like these amazing moments of like,
Are we talking?
yeah, the cheeseburger.
We talking pre-meter maids on the Gold Coast?
Meter Maids were there, I think, early 80s.
All right, Kappa.
Are you telling me you
At
got
6
those?
years old, I shouldn't have been looking, to be fair. But I can tell you, for the record, I was 6 years old and 7 months when I saw my first Meter Maid.
Oh, my
So-
No,
God.
I'm joking. I don't.
Now,
Look,
Peter
I do. It's
Andre.
very specific.
That's very Gold Coast thing, isn't
That was
it?
specific.
Peter Andre, 1996, Mysterious Girl. That's almost 30 years.
It's 30 years, I know. And actually, I released it the first time in England, in 1995.
Oh, so
it
30th
is 30
anniversary.
years old, yeah.
Does it feel like 30 years ago?
No, and I think what's the hardest bit about it is knowing that I was 22 when I did it. That's the hardest bit.
What?
So then I figure out my age, and I'm like,
Oh, what was
no.
life like as a 22-year-old when you're Peter Andre?
Oh.
You know, I kind of get a bit annoyed at myself because I should have just really enjoyed every minute. And I feel, I've got to be honest, and I'm always the first to admit this, I feel I became a bit arrogant in those days, and I kind of regret that a bit because I should have just realised that it doesn't last forever, and that it was such a great privilege to have that. But at the time, you're not thinking. You're
young too. You're young.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
do you think you would have preferred to be a pop star back in 1996 or now?
I think back then was great because if you were known by everybody. You see, what I mean by that is, okay, so you've got social media now, and then my kids will say, oh, this person's the most famous person in music right now. They're number one. But I know if they walked down the street, I wouldn't recognise who they were. So the difference was back then, if Guns N' Roses were on the radio, or if Michael Jackson or Prince or Madonna or any of these people were on the radio, they were known by everybody. You could walk down the street and anybody would know who they were. So I think for that, yes, the 90s were great, but now social media is brilliant because you can reach more people than you could have ever reached back in the day.
Just on your kids, because I've got 3 boys. I love embarrassing them. Surely...
But that's our job.
It's exactly right, mate. And surely there would be moments that you'd be with the kids and you might be somewhere where they're playing your song and they'll be like, oh, no, Dad.
Dance?
No, Dad.
Go, Dad.
No.
Oh, that's where mobile phones are really handy because you just act like you've got a call and you go, I'll be back in a sec. And I go.
Oh, do you? You don't embrace it.
I get so embarrassed. The thing is, I should, right? Like when you guys... I got excited, but I don't know. Yeah, no, it's always embarrassing because you think of people cringing like you're cringing.
No, you know what? Okay, Peter Andre, if I was sitting in a cafe, a restaurant, a bar, a club, if I could be anywhere, I could be on a train. If your song came on and you got up and I saw, oh my God, that's Peter Andre there just jigging out to his own song, I would lose my mind.
You'd be grinding.
I'd be up to.
You would probably call the hospital and say, listen, this guy's a bit, you need to get him sorted out.
I'd be dead on the floor having a heart attack because my life would be fulfilled.
I'd be more shocked Lauren was on a train, to be honest, Peter.
Okay, you see, now this is where I'm not in on it because I don't know the story. Give me more, tell me more.
They think I'm a snob. I might be in that era, you know, how you said before, when you were really doing a great job and you got a bit cocky. Maybe that's me.
Yeah, Lauren in about 5 years on Nova will be like, I just want to apologise for the first few years.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Hey, Clint.
You know what? I do think, because some of the videos we filmed back then were in Melbourne. You're in Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had some amazing experiences down there because that's where probably most of our videos were filmed. And I hadn't been back for 30 years. And then when I came back 2 years ago, I think it was, and one of the interviews was in Melbourne. So I went to Melbourne and I called up Molly Meldrum because I hadn't spoken to him for years. And I'd heard he'd had an accident. So I was actually near to where he lived. I didn't know he still lived in the same place.
Yeah.
So I went over and saw him, and it was just the most unbelievable thing after all those years to go back and remember where it sort of all happened in that part of Melbourne. I think Mushroom Records was near there as well. I think it was near there.
He lives in Richmond where I live, and his home is Egyptian style.
Molly Meldrum, has he still got all the paintings on the fence?
Yeah, he paints his fence.
Does he?
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be like a musical museum in there.
No, he had like a Melbourne Storm player and a St Kilda player or something on his fence, didn't he?
Yeah, right.
And what was interesting is, God bless him because he had that accident. I thought he wouldn't, because he couldn't speak much, his speech had declined, which was really sad. But he remembered stories, honestly, that were just... I forgot the stories, where we filmed things, and he even remembered my first girlfriend. That I used to say to him, Molly, am I okay to bring my girlfriend over because I didn't know where else to go back then? So he remembers all these stories. It's just brilliant.
So good.
Do you remember your first girlfriend?
Yeah, I just got to go, guys.
Does she still live in Melbourne? Was she a Melbourne girl?
Yeah, we should find her.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I am one of those people that would love, not necessarily girlfriends is not the right thing to do, but to see my old friends. I met up with someone here that I haven't seen for 30 years the other day.
Good.
So every time I come back to Australia, I really go down this nostalgic thing.
Yeah,
that I love.
That's cool, though. That's good.
And now, we've talked about the music, which I grew up with. Like
talk
as
about
a
the movie.
kid, I was dancing in my room on my own to Mysterious Girl thinking it was about me. Let's talk about the movie because the movie's meant to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so the film's called Jamaican, and the meaning of it is in the title. It's a fake Jamaican. And what it is, it's a heist movie, but one like you've never seen before. It's the kind of humour that I loved growing up watching. It's the kind of humour that I love in films. So when I had the opportunity to do this, I was so excited. And it's about a guy called Gary Buckle, the character I play. He's basically been kicked out of his home in Australia, sent packing back to London to live with the one person that would have him, and that was his nan. And the reason he got kicked out in Australia was because he was a wheeler dealer, always getting himself in trouble, up to no good. Anyways, living with his nan. His nan's now in a care home and he's using her money to go and try and do deals. And now he's spent all her money, and now she's in arrears at the care home. And so basically, I try everything. As being a small-time crook, I try everything to get money for her, to help her to stay in the care home. And eventually, I come up with this plan because somebody tells me that the character Gary, looks like this guy in Jamaica who's about to inherit $3 million.
Oh, God,
but he's
you're a
locked up in
scammer.
jail.
You're a scammer.
Yeah, so they're like, well, he's locked up in jail, so if you go out there, you look like him, just keep your mouth shut, go and get the job done, go and sign the papers. Of course, it's never going to happen. So this heist movie takes you on a full journey. It's lighthearted, it's fun. It's honestly brilliant fun.
Are you enjoying comparing movies to music? Is the love there as much?
Yeah, and I studied acting as a kid, and I actually failed in music, which, as I say to people, probably explains a hell of a lot. But I love doing the music stuff, of course. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. I mean, it was so obvious back in the day. And so for me, it was like I was just living my dream. But I always said to Dad, when I get to my 40s, I'm going to move into acting. And he was probably thinking, yeah, whatever, just go do your homework. And then when I got to 47, I did my first short film in America, and then subsequently I did probably 3 or 4 short films in America after that, and then did a small part in Freddie Nwaka's feature prior to this, and then I got this role. So, I love it. I've got a drive just like I had back in the day when I did music. Still do gigs, and I still love that, but
you still
I
do
don't
gigs.
want to.
Are you doing any gigs while you're here?
You should have seen Lauren's eyes
We'll
light up.
travel.
We'll book
travel.
him? We'll book him for your birthday.
Lauren, you've got to see us live because
Where?
when we do performances back home, even though the stuff I released was very poppy, actually the stuff I grew up loving was funk and soul. So we've got a really incredible funk soul band that we work with. And so when we do live gigs, we do a lot of our stuff, obviously, but we do slightly kind of more funked up versions. And our live gigs are so much fun in England, but I am doing, when I come back, when I do the film premiere, which is tomorrow night,
yes,
they have said, would you get up and do a couple of songs? And I'm
me?
like,
I'll get
No.
up.
He was saying he was asked to get up and do a few. No,
Lauren,
Peter.
The offer's there.
No.
If you can it's only 2-hour flight. So what I'm saying is,
You do not know what you are
I would
starting.
describe Lauren as a
But
lot of
I need
things, not
someone
funk
to do
and
the rap.
soul.
What? Do you want someone to do the rap?
Peter, I cannot stress enough.
I'm in.
When you open this can of worms,
Careful
I don't
what
know.
you-
I mean, Lauren's confidence is amazing. I think we might be missing a trick.
Well, you know what? Actually, I've got a sample that I can play you.
What, funk and soul?
This was recorded when we were off the air the other day.
Give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my darling. Show me that you're my girl.
Oh, wow.
All right. If you don't want me, give me a
Got a bit
little
confused here.
sugar. If you don't need me, don't leave me on.
Oh,
Lauren-
that was good. The high note.
Hold on. Sorry. Oh, no, sorry. We've got someone for the rap. They just...
Oh,
James.
No, I'm just joking. Lauren,
Peter Andre, how dare you
come
break
on,
my
let's
heart?
Let's do it. I'm waiting for you.
All right,
For
Peter
sure.
Andre. Well, we want to play a Peter Andre banger after this.
of
So,
course we have to.
do we do Mysterious Girl or do we do Give Me a Little Sign? Like, what was your favourite to perform, or was it something else?
Give me a little sign. I haven't heard that for years.
Oh, it's such a banger. Don't you do that when you do your live shows?
And do you know, no, not in England because they'd never heard it. They'd never heard it before. We actually might do it tomorrow night for a bit of fun. But can I just say something with that song? Molly, this is how a genius Molly Meldon was. He played me that song the original, which was by a guy called Brenton Wood.
Shut up. Was that not your song?
No, and he said, I want you to do this. So the first song I released was called, I can't remember what it was in Australia, but it wasn't Give Me a Little Sign.
Ah.
Drive Me Crazy, that's right. That was one I'd written. And then he gave me this song, and I heard it, and he goes, you're going to record this, and it's going to be a smash. I nearly cried. I just was like, how, what? It was nothing like any kind of song I'd ever listened to, or I didn't want to do it.
He
And
picked
said,
it for you, Molly.
Molly.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do it, and he said to me,
Iconic.
you're going to thank me one day, and I was like, I felt, and I can say this now, I felt almost forced into doing it. I am so thankful he forced me to do it,
All right.
because that song triggered everything that then went. So his genius is unbelievable, because I did not want to do that song.
Well,
We
I
must
think after
play
the
Give Me a
break,
Little
we
Sign
must do
for
it.
Molly.
after the break,
My darling,
Is that Lauren singing? Come on.
hey, Clint, good mystery guest.
That's a great mystery. He looks the same.
He
Have a
looks
look
the
at him.
bloody same.
You do look the same. You haven't aged a day.
And don't tell me that you don't have washboard abs still. Come on.
Have you still got the abs? Ish?
So about 3 years ago, they went into hibernation, and every time I keep going, come on, just come out for the summer. They're like, give me another year.
It happens, Peter, I know.
Hey, Peter, congratulations on the movie, mate. I'm
Can't
so
wait to
glad.
see it.
I'm so glad you're enjoying that next phase of your career, and thanks so much for jumping on this morning. Honestly, it's been a real treat.
Enjoy Australia.
I want to come when I come to Melbourne next time. Please let me come and see you guys live.
Absolutely.
You don't need to ask me twice, Peter Andre.
Lauren, I'm seeing you tomorrow night. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm doing the rap. All right, I'm off to practice.
Live demo. Here we go. Peter Andre, joining us on the air. We love you, Pete.
Love you too.
Love you, mate.
How good.
Jason Lauren.
Wake up feeling good. Follow them on the socials.